Hey guys, how's it going? It's John from British Fin Games bringing you some more Destiny content. So I figured out why I got 8 games in a row of 6 stacks in Iron Banner. It's because I looked at the clock, it's midnight, and it's Friday the 13th, so yep, it explains everything. But I'm not here to talk about Iron Banner at all. I'm actually here to talk about the new expansion, Forsaken. So, looking at the calendar and the timeline Bungie's given us, we are now closer to the arrival of Forsaken than the arrival of Warmind. So, the hype is starting to come out. New changes are coming out on July 17th that are going to be influencing the way the game is played and how we look at the game, I guess. So, I kind of wanted to just take a look, talk about some big things that Bungie are doing right. Sorta.
This little game you're about to play, I call Gambit.
So for my first point, it's kind of an awkward spot. Not necessarily like what it is, it's more or less how it's being presented. Gambit is awesome. I really do think that the combination of a PvE and PvP event is very smart on Bungie's part. I really do like it. It's a new game mode, and I think it could help revive the game. But at the same time, we're going back to the Reef, and that could really bring a lot of Prison of Elders vibes to people. And some people might like that, some people do. Some people might say, well, Bungie's being lazy, and this is just Prison of Elders with PvP. I get that. We're going back to the Reef. There is a new character involved, similar to Varix, or I forget the fallen guy's name. Here's a picture of him. If I got it wrong, I don't really care. I forget his name. He wasn't that memorable. But it's basically, hey, kill these enemies, get on to the last phase, and here's a big boss you have to kill, just with PvP elements, and hey, you can screw up the other team's progress and make them have a harder time getting to the goal faster. I think it's a good idea. I really do like it. I'm glad it's not Prison of Elders rebooted. I think it's different enough that it still will be well liked. I'm just worried that because we're going back to the Reef, because it's similar to what Prison of Elders was, a lot of people will just be turned off by the idea if you didn't like Prison of Elders. I get that, but I really do think it's a good idea. It's going to bring people into the game. Just some people might not like it, so I think it's a good idea, but I can understand why people might be turned off if they didn't like Prison of Elders in D1. Okay, so for the next point, it's something I praised earlier, but there's still more that can be done. So weapon randomization is very good. A lot of people wanted it back. The set rolls, not a good idea. A lot of people thought that would balance the game more. Just all-around bad idea. Whoever thought of that at Bungie should have been fired as soon as those words came out of their mouth. The fact that they're not getting rid of the Year 1 weapons might not be a good idea. In Taken King, they completely just reset all the weapons. All the Year 2, Year 1 weapons were just gone, and it was Year 3 on from there. And because the first year of Destiny 2 was so bad, and they're kind of going back to what they originally were and kind of getting rid of this new crap they produce, I think it would be smarter on their part just to get rid of all the Year 1 weapons. If you have them saved in the vault, that's great. But let's be honest here. There's only a select few weapons that are used. Okay, so PvP, Vigilance Wing, Antiope D, Graviton Lance, of course. You got Sins of the Past for a rocket launcher, main ingredient, and Perfect Paradox, and a few others. And PvE, it's pretty similar. You got the Polaris Lance, and you got a couple other weapons I can't really think off the top of my head. But let's be honest here. Not a lot of people would be that upset if the Year 1 weapons went away. I really think if they want to get away from all the BS that happened in Year 1 and start over, start fresh, it would be smarter on their part to just do what they did in TTK. Get rid of all the Year 1 weapons and be like, okay, hey, Year 2, all random rolls, all new weapons, this is a fresh start, here we go. Okay, so this point is them kind of getting it right, but not really. And this is my biggest qualm with D2, is the mod system. Yes, they're updating it, but in all honesty, just get rid of the damn thing. Nobody likes the mod system. I've never talked to a person that plays D2 and says, yeah, wow, I really like this new mod system that Bungie created for Destiny 2. I've never heard those words come out of anyone's mouth. It would be much smarter, just get rid of it. Just no one likes it. Get rid of it, Bungie. Please, get rid of it. So going along with my previous point in them updating the mod system, as a result of this, I have to assume that them updating the mod system will have an effect on resilience, recovery, and mobility. So maybe this will have an effect that will make it more likable and better for everyone. I'm not 100% sure yet. But in all honesty, resilience, recovery, mobility, no one gives two rats behinds about. I mean, yeah, recovery is important, that's probably the most important, but let's be honest, warlocks, of course, they get high recovery, and then they get a frickin' rift to increase their recovery or give them an overshield. It's stupid. Get rid of it. Go back to the old system with armor rolls. That was so much better. They put more value into your melee, your defense, your grenade recharge. I honestly think that was so much better, and if they went back to that, I would be much happier. I think that would be a smarter move on their part since they're going back to the weapon rolls randomization, but maybe this is a testing ground. If the weapon randomizations do very well, maybe they'll bring back random armor rolls, but this resilience, recovery, mobility system they have in place needs to go. But again, with the updated mod system, maybe it'll make it better. I'm not sure, but hopefully it will. But if they could, I would have them get rid of it, go back to the old system, do random armor rolls. Okay, so this next point is kind of a rant. I promise I will keep it to a minimum. Patrick asked me to keep it to a minimum. I promised him I would. So here we go. The new supers looks awesome. Everyone's getting excited. It creates more interest in the expansion, but it doesn't fix the problems that already exist. The fact that Arcstrider is probably the most OP subclass, in the game is just stupid. I mean, the KD average is so much higher than all the other subclasses. TV did a video on it and showed a graph. I'm gonna probably put a picture or a link in the description of that video, but it just doesn't make sense how frickin' OP this thing is, and not one thing is being done to fix it. Adding new supers is just adding more problems onto the pile. And here's the part of the rant that I promise I'll keep to a minimum. Yeah, cool, Titans get death from above back, but it doesn't fix the fact that this class, I love it to death, but it's so underpowered. Titans still have no dodge. Back in D1, we had this beautiful thing called Twilight Garrison, and of course, Titans got 2 dodges before there was a cooldown, and of course, everybody thought it was super overpowered and complained, and what did Bungie do? They just frickin' nerfed it, so even still, Titans had 1 dodge, but it was the first dodge a Titan ever had, and of course, everybody that means a Warlock and a Hunter just had to go and complain to Bungie, because Bungie loves frickin' Warlocks, and they just deal with Hunters as second-class citizens. Wow, why am I having trouble saying that word? Second-class citizens, and they just throw Titans to the wayside, and I'm tired of it. During the beginning of D1, the classes were not completely balanced, but playing a Titan was so much fun. Titans were more tanky. Titans are meant to be tanks, yet resilience does budkiss, and recovery, yeah, that's important. And if Titan's mobility is 0, frickin' Hunters with stoppies can just jump right over a Titan. The Titan's looking around for them, and they can kill them, and Warlocks with their jump can just floof right over them. So, yeah, I'm excited about the new super, but I want the classes to be more balanced. Bungie, there's no way in heck you're watching this video, but if you are, please, please, please buff Titans. I really, really hate the fact that that class still has no dodge, but you give the other two classes a dodge, and you say these things are supposed to be tanks. Well, guess what? A frickin' hunter can beat a Titan in a melee battle. Guess what? Hunters got a melee that disorients and slows down their opponents when they hit them. Why did Titans not get that? Titans are supposed to be able to punch everything in their path and win. But a hunter can beat you in a melee battle and disorient you? That makes no frickin' sense. Titans should have that ability. Okay, throwing knives, I get that for hunters, that's fine. But the fact that a Titan loses a frickin' melee battle to a hunter or a warlock is stupid. That needs to be changed. All I'm asking is make Titans the tanks you meant them to be. This is so dumb. I'm tired of waiting for them to get buffed. That's why I started maining a hunter in D1 at the end of it, because I liked it. I liked Night Stalker. I liked the evade. I liked the dodge. I thought it was freaking cool. And then you gave a dodge to all the hunter subclasses in D2, and you gave a dodge ability to the frickin' warlocks, who don't need any more upgrades. Alright, I've been going on long enough. I promise I'm stopping. I'm sorry if you main the other two subclasses or classes, whatever. But please, Bungie, buff Titans. Please. Moving on from there, and continuing with the PvP theme, 6v6 is coming back to Quick Play. That's coming out July 17th, right before this video. Right after this video. I think that's really good, but the thing that really bothers me still is, why can we not pick the game modes anymore? In D1, you could pick between Clash, Control, Rumble, Salvage, a few other game modes. I mean, it was awesome. And then they brought out the usual Mayhem, Iron Banner, doubles, every now and then. It was fun. You could pick and choose what game mode you wanted. And I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I miss Rift. If you've only played D2, you have no idea what Rift is. It's basically capture the flag. Does that not sound fun? I mean, it was annoying in D1 if you didn't know how to play, but when you figured it out, hey, it was pretty fun. And the thing I also miss, like I talked about earlier, 3v3 game modes. Salvage, Skirmish, that was awesome. 4v4 was shoved down our throats, and I am sick of it. It just... team shots, team shots, team shots. It's so dumb. I really hate 4v4. 6v6 is so much better. 3v3, also much better. Prevents team shots. I really, really do think that it's the game mode that needs to be changed. 6v6 and 3v3, that was Destiny's PvP bread and butter. 4v4, nah. Bungie, please bring back the game mode selection for PvP. Please. That's so much better than just waiting to see what game mode it is and having Supremacy come up 3 times in a row. Nobody likes Supremacy. I'm sorry, Bungie. It was a good idea. But sometimes your ideas tend to make you fall right on your face. Get rid of it, please. Please let us select game modes again. Moving on from there and continuing with the theme of team shots and 4v4 gameplay is the fact that the buffing of weapons is a new theme that Bungie is finally adopting. So they told us that the Vigilance Wings TTK of 0.8 seconds is going to be the new standard for weapons, and they're not going to nerf weapons, they're going to buff them. Well, I think that's great. I also think that maybe you should be looking at the time to kill. In D1, the time to kill was 0.83 seconds. I personally thought that was a great time to kill. It gave you enough of an opportunity to maybe get out of the situation you were in and still have a little health left. It was a quick time to kill, and it sped up the game dramatically. This longer time to kill in D2, I definitely feel like is slowing down the game, along with 4v4, that's also slowing down the game. So, if you can, buff the weapons to 0.8 TTKs, but also reduce the TTK for players, so that way it speeds up the game. You can have those triples, quads, and reapers, and so on and so forth, because I miss moments like that. I really don't see a lot of players getting that, and that's what made it exciting. In D1, the game was fast-paced. You were always moving, you were always going for somebody, and you could have one kill after the other after the other. Now, you all need to huddle up like a bunch of penguins in the North Pole, move around, and wait for somebody to come in your lane. Then you all shoot them at the same time, and guess what? The KAD system that D2 has gives you the kill when really you got an assist, because the TTK is so dang high, just like the rent. So all I'm saying is just lower the TTK. I know it might be a pain in the butt, there's a lot of sandbox fixes, but that is something for my next point that I really think people would like to see this. A lot of people at Bungie would get some good info, and in return, I think the fan base would be happy to see what my next point is going to lead into. So, a lower TTK might be a better option, and buffing the weapons, I definitely think, is a very good step in the right direction that needs to happen. Lastly, for my final point, Crucible Labs. Crucible Labs are going to be continuing to be a thing that Bungie brings out for PvP. It's really good, but the way Bungie presented it, the fan base was expecting one thing, and Bungie kind of presented another thing. Now, the new game modes that Bungie tests out and the new mechanics of them, I really do think is something that is definitely important. It's definitely good for them to get info from the fans and the gameplay they give Bungie, but I think that those sandbox fixes that you were talking about for the time to kills and adjusting them and bringing them back to what it kind of was in D1, that's a perfect place to be testing those out in Crucible Labs. That'll give you the feedback from the fans that you need to optimize the TTK that everybody wants, not play testing them inside Bungie and thinking they're great and kind of being a little biased and just wanting to get your product out there, but you'll get honest feedback from the fan base. You'll get honest data that you can use to make the best sandbox fixes possible. Will it be a pain in the butt? Yes, but if it's something that fans see you're working on and you're trying to bring back what it was in D1, I honestly think the fan base will love that and be extremely supportive and give you back tons of data that Bungie can use to make a TTK similar to D1 and increase the speed of the gameplay and bring it back to where everyone can get triples and quads like it was in D1. I really think that the Crucible Labs is an opportunity that Bungie at first squandered, but can make up for it by doing these little sandbox fixes and letting us test them out and letting them try them. And if all of a sudden you bring back a TTK that's similar to what it was in D1 and also buffing weapons so it's closer to that 0.8 seconds that the Vigilance Wing is, and you see a lot of people playtesting it and giving you tons of feedback and giving you tons of support, that just would confirm, hey, we're doing something right. We're going in the right direction. The fans are loving this. Honestly, the support would just get better and you would be making a better game. So, Crucible Labs, I know it's already been out for a while and it's not really part of Forsaken, but it's a good thing that was squandered but can still be used for vital information that can help improve the game, make things better, make the fan base happier, and can continue to adjust the game in ways the fans want it to. And you can do this in many different facets, whether it be game mode, sandbox fixes, gun modifications, what have you. The potential is big, and I really do think Bungie needs to take the opportunity to use this tool to make more adjustments and get more feedback to make the best game adjustments, gameplay fixes, whatever it is for PvP, and maybe if need be PvE. They could do like a PvE labs or something, just like a new game mode, enemy type, different waves, modifications, what have you. There is potential there that Bungie can do whatever they want with it if they do it right. So that's my last and final point. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you stuck to the end, thank you so much. If you really like the video, please go smash that like button. If you really like the channel, we have videos coming out every Monday and Friday. I'm not going to ask you right off the bat to subscribe, but if you watch some of our other videos and you're like, hey, I like this, I want to be seeing more content like this, and I want to get updated, just go hit that subscribe button and go hit the bell to get notifications. We have Monday, Wednesday, and excuse me, not Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's our other schedule. We have videos coming out every Monday and Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as always, guys, thank you for watching this video, and take care of yourselves. See you in the next one.